Assassin's Creed 4 came out with like a complete remake, and
It looks so good.
I think it's one of those things that I haven't played. Okay. It's just one of those days.
That went through my head too.
It appears so. Did someone say meatloaf?
Did someone say meatloaf? Okay, well, this is normally where Melissa does the intro. Millie, do the intro.
This is gonna be me doing the intro. Hello, everybody, and welcome to CastWorks, the CraftWorks podcast. We are on part 2 of our interview with BiglyShronk.
Yay!
Number 2, baby. Number 2.
Number 2. Remember when we talked about some Minecraft stuff and got heavily off the rails?
Way
and really
off
asked
topic.
many of our questions, but that's okay because it was still
Today will be all about questions.
This is going to be a lot of questions. We're going to start with the favorite one that I have, like that is a box actually asked is how many shrocks could a shrunk if a shrunk could shrunk?
Wow. At least 4.
At least 4.
Okay, good to know. Okay.
That's a good question. I like
after,
that.
but after, I'll tell you what though, after a drink of Dubby, use code SHRUNK for 10% off. 2. Cut that number in half.
Oh, 2. Okay. All right. Not sponsored. Qui-Gon asked, "What exactly is a shrunk?"
The funny answer. Do you want the funny answer or the real answer? I mean, the real answer we kind of touched on in last.
Touched on the real one,
Yeah.
So funny answers only with these, I think. Maybe.
Funny answers only. A shrunk is, what is a shrunk? It's an idea. It's what is a shrunk's purpose in the world? Something you gotta, something worth thinking about, and it's a life worth living.
Nice.
Fair enough.
I love that. My eyeballs are not.
It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. It's a shrunk lifestyle. Well, maybe that answers this other question that Amy and Steve asked, which was, why do you call yourself Shronk and not Shrunk as part of your name? Isn't or is it a honking noise in the name?
Okay.
Shrunk.
Listen, there is the honking noise hits a little close to home. Because there's a running joke between Mikey Sarnos and I that I have a big nose. And I mean, yeah, my nose is larger than the average nose. I personally don't think it's big, but I think it was Melissa that they roped into the joke, and they were like, yeah, we call him Bigly Schnoz, Bigly Schnork or whatever. And this has been like a year going on.
Oof.
Melissa drops the bomb, Bigly Honk.
Bigly Honk. Bigly Honk.
Which was very clever.
So
and it made me so mad.
I guess it's a good thing she's not here right now.
We'd be
Might be thrown down, yeah.
She'd be in the river right now. She'd be in the pond. I thought I was so mad because if only I was so mad that the joke hadn't been made sooner, because that's clever. Like, I'm surprised they hadn't done that. Like, that was so no. Look, honk. It's a very sensitive subject. I'm sorry. Who asked that question?
Ambient Steve.
Ambient Steve. Yeah.
Look. Listen, Steve. Zoom in on my face when I say this.
Okay. You look at me. Look at me so I can zoom in. Okay.
It's a very sensitive subject. All right. And I prefer not to talk about honk.
Okay. I don't know where to go from here.
That was amazing. Oh, okay.
On to the next question.
All right, I'm looking to see if there's any fun. Well, should we do the one we always have to ask?
We actually have 3 we have to ask.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask this first one, and I told you yesterday to prepare for this one.
Shoot.
I'm assuming, just judged by that he did not prepare.
He probably did not prepare. It's fine.
So I'm gonna play Melissa's part here. I need 3 random facts about BiglyShronk.
3 random facts about BiglyShronk. Well, let me tell you. I one time fought a bear once. I lost, unfortunately.
Time out. I need a story.
Yep.
I mean, he ran up and said, "Yo, And I said, "What?" And we just started. It was on site from there.
I'm so What?
Okay, that was a funny. That wasn't real.
That was a not real thing.
Okay.
No, real. Okay, three.
I was picturing a furry and you like throw it.
I fought the bear. I fought that chef guy actually.
Okay. Well, at least you didn't fight Gordon Ramsay.
Scott at a baseball game. I mean, it's possible.
No, okay. Three real facts about me.
Real facts.
Real facts. I am 24 years old. I love Spider-Man so much. He's like that guy. Love him. And I am a Virgo. For all you astrology people out there.
Sweet. So of course on the Spider-Man thing, super excited about the movie coming out.
I am so excited. It's gonna be the last good MCU film.
We'll see. I'm holding out hope. Avengers is right around the corner. I mean,
Here's my thing about Avengers, right? Spider-Man No Way Home did so well, and I think 80% of the reason why it did so well is because they brought back all those iconic actors like Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe, like Jamie Foxx, Andrew Garfield, and Tobey Maguire, because they were spanking so hard on the nostalgia factor. And now they're going a little overkill with it, in my humble opinion, for Avengers Doomsday. They brought back all of the original X-Men from the 2002 movie. Oh, sorry, no, that was 2000. Yeah, the 2000 movie.
Yeah, the 2000 round, yeah.
All of those guys are, in my humble opinion, too old to be playing these crazy action heroes
but we get to
like
see
the
it
X-Men.
one more time, and it's Secret Wars, so it can be for all the dimensions. So
it's just the fact, for me, it's the fact that all the X-Men are pushing either in their early to mid 50s or are pushing 90. Like Sir Ian McKellen and Sir Patrick Stewart, Magneto and Professor X, they are pushing 90. And I'm, oh my gosh. Which, funny,
I want to still be as spry and active as these guys are at their age.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah,
there's
absolutely.
There's famed American actor named Dick Van Dyke. He just turned 100 recently.
100. He was caught dancing the other day.
He was getting down with it. He was crazy. I saw that same video at 100 years old.
At 100 years old. I love how he was like saying something about his exercise routines. Like originally I used to do exercise because I wanted to be spry and I wanted to now I'm just doing it out of spite.
Yeah. Dude's kicking everything but the bucket. It's crazy. Sorry, I digress.
Yes.
Yeah, the only deal with the X-Men stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
I can go
I feel
on
like
and
they
out
would
with
bring
Marvel,
them back.
But we won't.
Oh yeah. We'll but the last thing I'll say is I'm half expecting them just to bring them back, just for Doctor Doom to kill them all as a demonstration of power and how powerful he is.
I can see that, and I think I'd appreciate it. I think we'll appreciate it more if they do that too, just because then we can just move on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and they might bring back. They might keep current X-Men. Word on the street is, do you want spoilers for the CinemaCon Avengers Doomsday trailer?
Oh, I mean, I'll hear it.
Mike, sorry, Lane.
Look, I am very uncultured. I'm very uncultured in that world. So
okay.
I'm sorry you're not a nerd, Lane. I'm just sorry.
Okay, the very, very last thing I say, I promise. Spoiler alert, skip ahead 10, 15 seconds. So in the CinemaCon trailer that hadn't been released yet, they might not kill all the X-Men because they show a scene in that trailer of Shang-Chi fighting Gambit, Channing Tatum Gambit from Deadpool and Wolverine. So they might keep some of them around.
They
but
might keep some of them, maybe the newer, like.
Hopefully, and Hugh Jackman, of course.
I'm surprised that Channing. I'm surprised that Gambit survived through Deadpool. Honestly,
I'm surprised
that was
too.
A surprise for me, but
absolutely.
All right, Lane. What's the other mandatory question we need?
Okay, so this is mandatory per the last interview that we had. And Melissa and I, we're both paranormal enthusiasts at this point. So I guess, and this is a question that we never got to ask you either, Millie. So, paranormal. Do you believe in it? Like spirits, ghosts,
Ghosts, aliens, spirits.
Yeah.
Ooh. Millie,
you
I
think,
think I
Shrunk?
was just gonna let you go first, actually,
Oh,
because
do you want me to? Okay.
I got a simmer on that.
I do believe there's something supernatural out there, and I absolutely adore doing like ghost hunting and all of that fun stuff. Now, have I seen anything like kind of like I've had a couple experiences that are a little weird that I can't explain. Um, Now whether I believe that aliens exist, I think they might be out there, but I've heard the philosophy that if they exist, it's a high percentage that they wouldn't exist in the same time as
Yeah.
us. So that kind of like probably never gonna meet one of those. I think I'd probably meet a ghost a lot faster, honestly.
Yeah. No, that I feel that. Like I do feel like aliens. Like there's something out there, right? Like you've got this universe as big as it is. Like I feel like it'd be kind of a shame to not have some other form of life out
It
there.
would be, I think that would be if like it come to find out, right? Like if we were to find out that we are truly alone in this vast span of nothingness that keeps expanding, so the nothingness is getting bigger and bigger all the time, and we are alone, that terrifies me.
Yeah.
Like what, why, like how? And then you can get really philosophical and be like, why?
Yep.
All about the why and hows about that. But yeah, I definitely believe that there's something out there. And like, on that same thing, it's like that'd be crazy to think that like for people that are like aliens aren't real, we are alone in the universe, like, and be okay with that. Like that's so crazy to think, in my opinion, where it's like again, the whole universe is huge and it just keeps getting bigger. It makes no sense for us to be alone.
Yeah. For
And
me,
as far as like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
well, for me personally, like I feel like I don't necessarily know that I believe in like aliens in the form that we know them as, you
Oh
know?
yeah, no.
Like I
Mhm.
like the way I think of it is like I believe in the possibility of it because like we haven't seen them, so we don't know. It's like
It's like
I
the old
just,
X-Files adage, I want to believe.
Yeah, it's like I agree with you, Lane. Like with the whole like if it's like the weird bug-eyed green things that the media portray, like I don't think so, but like some other form of life to exist, like no matter how they look or how they see, or maybe they look just like us, maybe they are us. If we want to get
man,
really
maybe we
crazy
are
into
the
the
aliens.
like the
Definitely
multiversal
could, or it could
theory.
be so different that we would never understand them for their own life, like for their sentience either. Like it'd be so far out
Exactly.
of our league that we're just the little ants not understanding.
Yeah.
There is a theory, a space theory. I think if I gotta fact check myself, but I think it's called the dark forest theory or something like that, where there is, yes. So here I'll read off of the Google here just so I'm not missing any beats. But there's something called the dark forest theory, where the universe is silent because intelligent civilizations hide to avoid annihilation. So,
Ah.
and
Oh.
the reason why all of these intelligent civilizations are like not reaching out to us or not responding to us, because crazy enough, humans, am I right? They are constantly reaching out to see what's out there. When,
Mhm.
quite frankly, the theory is we could be making the biggest mistake of our lives doing that, and all the other,
Oh yeah.
no one wants to, no other like intelligent life wants to do that because they know what's out there, and they're like, look,
Mhm.
you guys keep doing what you're doing. Godspeed. Like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
take
It's
the
like,
direction off of us, like
Yeah.
or the
exactly.
attention off of
And
us.
what weirdly kind of backs this theory is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with something called the wow signal.
No.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
So the wow signal is the popular band Muse's newest album coming out in a couple of months, but also the
Wait, Muse has a new album coming out?
Muse has a
Yeah.
new album
I,
coming out
Yeah, they
called
oh,
the
already
Wow
they've already
Signal.
released at least one of the
Three
songs.
s- three
Three?
songs.
I
Three now?
haven't
Okay.
I haven't actually listened to Muse in a good minute now.
Yeah, their new album coming out is called The Wow Signal. It comes out in June. Not a plug, by the way. So
Not sponsored
not
by
a not a
Muse.
Not
sponsor
sponsored.
not a sponsor by
Not a sponsor.
famous progressive rock band Muse, but the the WOW signal is NASA received a transmission from deep space.
Yep.
And to this day, we have no idea where it came from or even how we got it. And so it's the way I see it, backing that theory is someone did try to reach out, but then like realized like this is a bad idea and we will never do this again.
Yeah.
And we don't even know what the transmission says if I'm not mistaken, right?
No,
like, it was
they
just
weren't able
a
to figure
weird
it out.
like that no one could decipher. And it went
It was
on
just
for a
unique
very
enough that like
it went on for so long too, like over a minute long. And it was just crazy. No one knows, and it kind of strangely backs the theory
Yep.
of the Dark Forest.
Nice.
Okay, well, what about like ghosts and spirit and stuff?
Kind of the same viewpoint that you have on aliens is like, I am sure that they exist, but not in the way of like the way the media present, where it's like, ooh, you know, and
Yeah.
like I believe in like
Never experienced anything that you would consider supernatural.
I have never like experienced anything real, like supernatural. At my old apartment, we used to hear these really distinct claps, and it sounded like a human clapping their hand. I don't know if you guys heard that through the microphone, but like
it came through.
It sounded exactly like that, and we would be like in our room, and like, or we would just be hanging out, and we would just hear that. But we'd be like, where's that coming from? Well, it turns out the logical explanation was the apartment complex used to be an old factory, so they had all these different pipes, and that would be like the air ducts and stuff like that. And that clapping noise was the inner workings of the air ducts flipping to change directions of the airflow.
Oh, and it sounded like a human clap. That's wild.
Sounded like a fleshy clap.
Okay, yeah, no, that's understandable.
After I found that, I was like, oh, whatever. What, I ain't scared of nothing anymore. Because there was no rhythm to it. It would just happen like random periods of the day, random periods of the night. And it did spook us a little bit, but then we found out and we're like, oh. But yeah, like it's hard to say. It's very hard to say that there isn't anything like that either.
Right.
So I'm very much of the mind of I will never.
We're still open-minded to it.
Yeah, I'm very, very open-minded about the whole thing and being like, maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Yeah,
I will find out when I need to find out.
Yeah, see, I'm in a weird camp with that because like I consider myself to be skeptical, but leaning more towards the believing aspect. But like I've never experienced anything like supernatural myself. But I've always been fascinated with that sort of thing because like I feel like there just has to be something, you know?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
So like I watch a lot of like the paranormal channels, like I watch Overnight and groups like that as they do their paranormal investigations. Like Overnight, it's led by Eldon Castay and Matt Rife, the comedian. He's actually he's featured on that channel quite a bit. Both him and Eldon are like they went halvesies and bought the Warren estate. So like
that's insane.
So the world's most haunted place is owned by Eldon Castay and Matt Rife, which means they are both technically legal guardians of the real Annabelle doll. Which
I would love to just open the Annabelle doll and just touch.
See,
like
that's
the top of its head.
That's one thing I won't do.
No.
I won't do it. I won't do it.
Dolls creep me out the most. Like I feel like if spirits can wander or there's demons or whatever it is, that a doll would be like the easiest form for them to take, and that's
yeah.
I didn't even like collecting dolls as a kid.
I know. I seeing my mom used to have these like porcelain dolls, and they looked freaky.
Yeah.
Like the classic stereotypical horror movie trope where it's sitting on a shelf staring directly at you. And I'm like, oh,
I I had a
God.
cat sit at this lady's house when I was in my 20s, and she had life-size child dolls standing up on things, and it would be like they'd be in the dark.
Are you sure those weren't real children taken by this woman?
I don't know. I can't say she was childless. She just had cats and dolls. So, and she had an entire room, like a whole office room dedicated to these dolls. I kept that thing locked when I cat sat.
Yeah,
They're
no,
like
I
in
would've,
silly
yeah.
poses. Like one of them's like doing the worm. And
Yeah.
Oh man.
You open the
Anytime
door
I go
one
in,
time,
I'm like,
the poses change.
yep, you pay attention. I would like pay attention. What did they look like before I locked those doors?
Yeah.
I used to be a kid who would get very, very paranoid after seeing like a horror movie. Like seeing like the movie It Follows. I was
Ooh, yep.
constantly like looking over my shoulder. Meanwhile, like I knew how the movie went and I knew the circumstances of how that movie's demon got spread to people. So I had nothing to worry about. But still, I was like so paranoid and I was like still looking over my shoulder and
It's
being
funny
like,
what your brain hooks on
Yeah.
to sometimes.
yeah, it's like forget logically, like even if this thing were real, it wouldn't be after me certainly. And it's like, well, but what if it escaped the cycle of how it's like, oh no. But yeah, and like, you know, other versions of the supernatural too, like spiritually in a positive light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, very open-minded to the idea. I'm not fully a skeptic, or I'm not outwardly a skeptic. Anything like skeptical towards it, I am very internally because, you know, there'll be certain friends or family that have like other
Very much
relatives
believing, yeah.
Yeah.
and very much also it's like, say hypothetically, like someone's family member passes away and something happens and they go, oh, it's them trying to talk to us. That I will admit I do get a little inwardly skeptical for. I would never under any circumstances be like, yeah, right. And like I don't even think that to a degree because that's just I think very cruel because it's a way that's for one their way of coping as well. So it would be crazy to disrespect that person for simply trying to cope. And at the same time, and still keeping that open mind because it was like I do think that was very strange. Like I'm never gonna like completely disregard that option, but it's very open-minded.
It's
for
interesting
that, you
when
know?
your brain tells you something like that. Now, I can't say whether or not it was a ghost or it was just me dreaming it, but the night my father died, we were all camped out in the living room together because, of course, you know, your dad's gone and everything's kind of freaked out. And
Right. The
I
balance of everything is just
swear I saw him lean over, like a shadow of him lean over my mom to kiss her goodbye. And that's one of the reasons why I do believe in spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. Because, you know, my rational brain says, oh, you must have been dreaming that. But the other part of me deeper down goes, no, I'm pretty sure that's what I saw.
Well, and you know that's you know you know what you saw, right? Like if something like that happens in
exactly.
your brain, like sure your brain could be playing tricks on you, but to a degree, like sure your brain can play tricks on you, but there is a level of reality there where you know distinctly what you saw, and to me that's definitely a thing. Like I've never had like any paranormal like sort of experiences yet anyway, because there like might be some future second
Never know.
channel
We're gonna
content.
go ghost hunting together when you come and visit. Like
Yes.
that's what
Yes.
at least one place.
Yes, exactly. Well, I mean, like Ghoul, we've talked about possibly trying to do something like that, and I don't know, like I would like to try my hand at that, like put myself in the position to experience it, but I go for I'm a very rational thinker. So like I go into things like this and I know I'm going to go in with a debunking mindset, looking for ways to debunk these things to prove to myself,
Which is
you know what?
fine.
Well, it's
Because I think then it would be that much more like just it's gonna hit that much more home when you go, I can't debunk this.
well that
Like
well that's it.
whatever it
That's
was.
exactly it. That's
You're like,
exactly
oh my
it.
gosh.
That's
Yeah, and like when and like I'm in that same boat of like the rational being like, okay, let's figure something out. Because like, I mean, my fiance and her best friend, they want to be paranormal investigator content creators, like, you know, people like Sam and Kobe and
Nice.
other folks like that. And they ask me, I was like, would you want to join in? And I joke around being like, yeah, I could use my YouTuber status to boost your guys' views. And I've thought about like, I was like, how funny it'd be to play like the skeptic that is like, no, yeah, right. But like, yeah, like when in reality, the type of skeptic I am is like, I'm skeptical through, like you said, it's like through like rationality, like trying to figure it out, but not in a way of like,
not in a way of proving
like,
that ghosts aren't real, but in a
but
way
like through
of
sheer fascination. And
yes,
yeah, exactly. Being like, I'm so fascinated by this. Like, there's got to be something there. Like, so that's in reality, that's how I am. And then, but like, I think it'd be so funny to be like that. I'd be like, did you hear that noise? And I'll be like, no. Like,
so a question that came to my mind when I said this if you watch a magician, are you that kind of person that you're like, how did they do that trick?
it is definitely like how do they do that? Like, I am shocked because it is like, obviously, like, you know, they're magic tricks. There are some things where I'm just like, part of me is like, I'm torn because it's like, I'm so fascinated and so intrigued by it. On one hand, I'm like, that was insane. I have to know how he did that. And on the other hand, I'm like, I don't want to know how he did that. That was so cool. I'm like, I want to be shocked again. Like,
well, yeah. It's that the ignorance of it that keeps you wanting to keep watching this thing happen, because like you don't know how it works, so your brain continues to be intrigued. And this there's that fear of knowing, like if learning how to do something,
take the mystery away.
Exactly.
I was just about to make that point. Like, I would never, like, if I knew how to do, like, if I knew how to do just a few like magic tricks, it would ruin like every like I do not want to go to a magic show knowing how the trick is done. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because
like,
it would take away all
tricks.
the fun, all the whimsy and stuff like that. Which brings me a good segue into another question that you guys have written by, I think, Whiffs. But you know, same thing with like professional wrestling. You know, in today's world of professional wrestling, like the curtain is always pulled back, and you see how all that stuff is done. When back in the day, it was like these storylines, you wanted people to believe that they were as real as possible.
Yeah.
And what they called
for context, the question he had was, when did you become a pro wrestling fan, and who's your favorite wrestler, and why is it real?
Ray Ripley.
Ray Ripley.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, okay.
He
So
kind
first
of went off on the rails a little bit, but
so
also pro wrestling.
First of all,
pro wrestling.
If you've ever seen Ray Ripley, you know why it's Ray Ripley.
Throw a photo up. Throw her up on the screen. That is mommy.
Have editor Lane going like, oh man,
I love that woman.
No,
I showed my fiance. I got my fiance to watch wrestling because when it came on Netflix, WWE, and she's like, "You want to watch with me?" And she was like, "Sure, yeah, I want to see what's going on." Rhea Ripley showed up, and her first question was, "Who is that?" And I said, "That
nice
is a woman."
And yes, all of this is staying in. I would be mad at myself if I didn't leave this in, and Melissa would be mad at me later if I didn't leave this in.
I don't care if they catch me simping. My fiance would leave me in a heartbeat for her. And I'm okay with that, you know? I'm okay with that. But Rhea Ripley. I won't be able to focus for the rest. I'm sorry.
So how did you become a pro wrestling fan?
My dad is a WWE fan, and he was like, "Hey, check this out."
Like the old school, like
like
Undertaker
his top 3 favorite wrestlers are Bret the Hitman Hart,
nice,
The Undertaker,
yep,
and Hulk Hogan, which I know is a more controversial take now, but you know, he is definitely one of those to separate separate the art from the artist. And
before that
he loves the character of Hulk Hogan. And I watched I watched with my dad. He used to have like wrestling VHS tapes, so I know of like the old commentators like Jim Ross, who was, for those who don't know, he was this like Southern cowboy dude. And he was so animated when he some like a crazy move would happen, he'd go, "Bah, God!" He'd always say that, and he'd be like, "I hit him with a steel chair!" Like, it was so animated. And he would call everyone an SOB. And it was the most entertaining thing. And just something about it, you know, my dad liked it. And like, it was like, whoa, this is cool. Like, see people like beat up each other. And of course, you know, I had an older brother, and anyone with an older brother or older sibling.
You don't have to tell me. Oh, boy.
It's like, you know, they would say, you know, at the beginning of our program, it'd be like, hey, don't try this at home.
We try
everything. we try that at home, the grocery store, in the middle of like a friend's house. We would try it everywhere. But yeah, I liked, and like, you know, apart from Rhea Ripley, my favorite wrestler would have to be, realistically, my favorite wrestler of all time is Shawn Michaels, post 2004. Because, you know, I know Shawn Michaels, I just a couple years ago actually learned that Shawn Michaels in the 90s was a terrible person, was awful. And then he got injured, found, you know, religion and stuff like that. And he became a good person. And like, you know, he actually came out the better side.
Nice.
And so, yeah, I like post 2004 Shawn Michaels just because that's when I was around to see him. Like, I saw his match with The Undertaker where he retired, and I saw the one before that, some of the greatest wrestling matches of all time, in my humble opinion. But yeah, I'm kind of geeking out about wrestling right now. Sorry, audience.
It's okay.
Well, that's okay. It'll lead into Izzy's other question. Were you a band kid, athlete, or theater nerd?
Yes. So,
solid answer.
The term band kid, very taboo. Okay, very taboo.
Very taboo.
I wouldn't consider myself a band kid because I never really did all the weird, stereotypical band kids stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I never took part in the Big Chungus meme and like the whole like hold up, ring ding 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 ding. Like, I never.
Yeah, I was the same. I was not in that sort of thing.
I always say I'm not a band. I was never a band kid. I was just a kid
in band.
Yeah.
In band.
But I was a theater nerd.
Nice.
I loved doing theater in high school. My very, very first ever theater experience was my dad, or some local theater, was doing a production of The Wizard of Oz, and he got cast as the Tin Man.
Nice.
And he was like, "Hey, you want to do this with me?" You know? And I was like, "Sure, it could be fun." So I was a Munchkin, and then I was a flying monkey as well, which ended up, I became like, in the book, or I guess just in the Broadway production, there's like the commander of the flying monkeys, and that was like my first star role.
Nice.
The commander of the flying monkeys, which weirdly enough, I have this really vivid memory of someone else in like the cast, some of the other Munchkins, and he was like, "That's not fair. You only got it because your dad's the Tin Man." I'm like, "Isn't your dad the Scarecrow?" Like, where's your logic, bud? But no, actually, I don't think the Scarecrow had any kids. But it was one of those things.
Wild
It's weird
to be said.
A weird out of context. Just post that as a reel. I don't think the Scarecrow had any kids. No, but yeah, well, just a weird, vivid memory, and that was like the first sense of success guilt I had. I feel guilty for my success, and I actually dropped it for a while, and then my senior year of high school, graduated in the year 2020, and we did a high school version of Chicago, which was very weird because, you know, they took out one entire music number. They took out one entire key plot point not really a plot point, but just like a big reveal at the end of the. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the
I am not
story of like the musical
Not
Chicago,
super,
but yeah, they took out a musical number. Can't remember what that musical number was actually. Crazy work.
Crazy
work. And then one of the reveals was like a reporter was like this dashing, like lavish woman reporter was actually a man, and it was like this big like whoa, you know. It was like, I don't know, looking back now, I don't know why I was in it to begin with, because it added zero. That whole plot thing added zero.
Didn't really need to be there.
No, it just it was, I guess, for one last big shock factor, because that reveal happens in the last 5 minutes of the show.
Oh, geez.
Out of this like 3-hour show, the last 5 minutes is like, Billy Flynn, the big lawyer, who's doing his last closing monologue, talking about how like the person didn't actually, or the star, the main character, Roxy Hart, killed her, what do you call it, affair partner, and it was justified because her affair partner was blah 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 blah, and things are not always as they seem. And as that big line, he rips the wig off, and then Mary Sunshine, the reporter, is like big shocked, and the whole courthouse is like but like
yeah, like that.
In hindsight, it's like this last 5 minutes, like what did that add except for that one last big like, oh my gosh, like, wow, But after that, we actually never even got to do that show because, again, 2020 hit March. The show was scheduled for March. COVID happened, and we ended up having to cancel the show.
Oh, jeez.
I did like a theater hiatus there, and then when we moved, my fiance and I, I found like a local theater, and one of my coworkers was like, "Hey, they're doing Chicago. You never got to do Chicago. They're doing Chicago at this community theater." And I was like, oh, no way. And it was like the real Chicago. So I ended up playing that part, and I ended up getting the role of Fred Casely in that part, and I actually finally got to do the show, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
Fred Casely is a character. He's the affair partner that gets killed in the very beginning of the show. Now, I come to learn that in theater, I love dying. Like dying in theater, like dying in shows is, there's a term, dying is easy, and this is like, I have the most fun dying in that show. The beginning is like, I don't like, the Fred Casely is walking out on Roxy Hart. He wasn't like, the truth is, he wasn't like this crazy psychotic man trying to like, get Roxy Hart, and it's like a very Shakespearean approach where the only people that know that are the audience. And of course, Roxy Hart, because those are the only, and Fred Casely, who is dead. It's like no one else knows in the show what truly happens. But I die in the beginning, die in the first 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But then I do what's there's a very famous musical number called the Cell Block Tango that's in Chicago. And it just like, it's a story about how all these women ended up in jail by killing their husbands, boyfriends, partners, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like justifying that, being like, well, he kept chewing gum, so I shot him in the head. And it was, no, that's real. That's the first story. And,
so funny. No, I believe you, like.
And it was like, oh, I killed my other husband because he said he was single, but he actually had 6 wives, and so and it was like, or like, I had an artist, I loved this artist, but every night he'd find himself, and along the way he found, and then he'd name all these different people. He's like, I guess you could say we broke up because of artistic differences. I saw him as alive, or he saw himself as alive, and I saw him dead. Whatever. I'm going off, I'm trailing, but every time they would tell their story, like it would be like a moment in the song where each woman was telling their story. Mm-hmm. I would be their dance partner every single story, and I would die every single time. So
funny. So you got to die as all the guys.
Mm-hmm. And then awesome. I died for the last time as this over dramatic retelling of the beginning of the story that's falsified, being like as this crazed madman, and and it's so funny because at one point in like this over dramatic thing, like we're all reenacting it as like visually for the audience in the courtroom, and it's like a really funny joke that goes over a lot of people's heads. But it was like, Fred Casely turns to Roxy and is like, I mean to kill you, and Billy Flynn, the lawyer, is like, do you think he meant to kill you? It's so funny. And at the end of that whole sequence, I died again. So I died in that show like 8 times. So I was like, man, this dying stuff is pretty fun. And then after that, I, did another show that was very much like in the cabaret-esque. I mean, the show was called Cabaret, which I'll talk less about this one. I promise. I'm sorry.
You're good. This is your episode, dude.
This is your episode.
the plot of that the whole premise of that show is Act 1 is, oh my gosh, how exciting. This is Berlin, Germany in the 30s. The second act of that show is, oh yeah,
Berlin,
right.
yeah.
This is Berlin in the 30s.
Yep.
Oh no. It's like, all my history buffs in the audience, like all the history buff viewers, and they'll know. And it was one of those things where I had to do something in that show that I am crazy that we got away with. I mean, during a certain musical number, we were doing we were saluting. To say the
A very
least.
specific salute that was happening during that show. Yeah.
And a very big musical number at the end of Act 1, which really sets the tone for the rest of the show. Because again, the beginning of the show is, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Like, we love this. Oh my God, Berlin. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm a little more familiar with that one than Chicago.
Yeah.
I often make when I do those like more risque shows, which I've only done 2 realistically, Cabaret and Chicago. There's a joke I had with the director of both those shows was during those certain particular scenes, like the one we just talked about, I'd be like, my grandma's coming to the show. I don't know. My grandma's coming to see this show. But yeah, and then after that, it took a turn for the better. I was in a Christmas play, A Miracle on 34th Street. I had such a good, happy, wholesome time doing that show. I was a bag lady and someone's dad. Like, I love playing those like little offside characters. It's like, outlandish, out there people. I put on, and I came like during the audition for that. Like, I was going for like the main lead part for Miracle. But then it was like, I decided to try to be funny. I'm in theater, It was like, I wanted to be the center of attention. I decided to try to be funny. They're like, does anyone want to read for Bag Lady? And I'm like, I'll do it. And I hammed it up so much. And then like the next day they were like, you want to be Bag Lady along with like a couple of other like roles? And I'm like, I would love to. I would love to do that. Like, sure. Like, I find myself having more fun playing those like silly characters. And then after that, I did my very last show before we moved was Beauty and the Beast, which I really tried to be Lumiere in that show. But I was not, which is fine. The person who got Lumiere was fantastic, like really, really good. So I was like, that's the one thing too, is like, there's too many people that are bitter about like in acting. There's too many people that are bitter about like, oh, I didn't get this.
Not getting the lead role or whatever it is. Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
and like
part they really wanted.
I've experienced those types of people that would get so upset that they didn't get the role they wanted, so they would quit the show, which is the most immature thing you could do, and that's an easy way to get yourself blacklisted and getting cast again. Because like, well, you're just very immature and very like you're not whatever. But like,
it's showbiz,
Exactly, and like. It's a lot of fun. I also did a production of The Great Gatsby when I moved back home into this current apartment. Great Gatsby was a play, and that was a lot of fun too, actually. For those that know the story of The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, I was not Gatsby. You weren't Gatsby, but
I was not Gatsby. I was actually his butler, Wolfsheim.
Oh, nice.
See, I'm familiar with The Great Gatsby, so.
And that scene, I also played one of the characters in the scene where in The Great Gatsby book where Tom Buchanan takes Nick to this apartment where his affair partner's living and invites like a couple of other people over. These characters named the McKees, who one is a like photographer, and that's who I played, the photographer who just wouldn't shut up about his art. And that was me. I'd be like, I did some great work on the line. One of them, and I'm like, oh, I did a bunch of stuff. Let me take it to my office sometime. It's a lot of fun. But I did take a little short hiatus. Now I'm currently in hiatus right now, but I'm still looking. There's a very quote unquote prestigious. It's a very competitive theater company called the Fulton. I won't dox myself doing this. I mean, I'm open to like, it's called the Fulton. It's in Pennsylvania. And it's a very like competitive thing, and I just really hope to get that because a very prominent figure from that is a Broadway personality named Jonathan Groff, who, if you guys don't know who Jonathan Groff is, he actually came up, he was born and raised in the place that this theater is. And he partook in that theater. And again, sorry for you guys that don't know who Jonathan Groff is. He is King George in Hamilton. And for more of the general audience, he is Kristoff in Frozen.
Oh, okay. See, there we go.
And he just did a production
he's so good as King George.
He did. I sing that song on my way. Like, it'll pop up on like Spotify will have like your Spotify DJ, right? And he'd be like, "How's it going, BiglyShronk?" It won't call me BiglyShronk, but it'd be like, I got a karaoke vibe for you. And it's they say, and it's like, and then it turns into like, and then it's like you'll be back from Hamilton. I'm like, I love this song. They come back and it's so great. I love it so much.
And see, I never could
all
see
that in
myself.
a nutshell. Yes, theater nerd.
I never could
To
see
answer your
myself in a
question.
That
theater.
answered the question for sure.
What you're saying, Lane? You couldn't see yourself what?
I couldn't see myself ever doing like theater per se. Like if I were to act, it would probably be like actually like on screen, like, and maybe this is just the inner nerd in me that loves this series, but like I've always actually been able to picture myself in some sort of dramatic role, like Walking Dead or something,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like I could see myself being able to do something like that. I'm not super comedic, so I couldn't really see myself doing anything like comedy related or anything like that. So like I feel like Walking Dead-esque would be like my thing. And I don't mean like playing one of the walkers.
Zombies, right?
No, I don't mean that. I mean like I could play I'd be fine with the side character. Just the zombie in the background.
Can someone tell that? Can someone tell that zombie to like do something? It's like in the distance, like this horde is crazy, Carl.
Yeah,
like you just hear in the distance.
yeah.
No, I agree. Like funny enough, I have voice files for like voice auditions in my computer that like I'll just send through. If it doesn't require anything specific, and it'll just be like, here, send us a voice file. I have this dialogue or this monologue from, again, speaking nerdy stuff, but there's a very famous comic book and a very famous like animated movie called Batman Under the Red Hood. And it revolves around the character Jason Todd, who used to be a Robin. Jason Todd, Robin died, came back to life, and as the Red Hood. And like at this point, it's like Batman doesn't know who the Red Hood is. He eventually finds out before this big altercation. But, and Batman still thinks, he's doing this because Batman failed to save him. And it's this huge, crazy, very emotional monologue, just basically not he's like it's like weirdly angrily forgiving Batman for not saving him, but why is the Joker still alive? And he's like emotionally just being like, why have like ignoring what he's done in the past, like I thought this would have been the worst thing that you would have let him do, and like I thought, and it's like, if it had been you that the Joker had killed, I would have done nothing but, search the planet and have him like, and, end him myself. Like because that's insane. And so he's more mad at Batman, for not killing the Joker instead of like not mad at it. And it's a very emotional, it goes through like a bunch of different types of emotions, like anger, sadness, like there's sometimes where it's like, oh, like mockery almost, being like, why can't you, huh? Oh, your moral code just won't allow for that. It's too hard to cross that line. And like he gets into it, right? And it's, it showcases a very wide range of serious emotions. Like, I find myself more of like, my comedy comes very naturally. And when I find myself actually trying to be funny, it's a miss. So I'm in the same boat as Lane. Like I would much rather do a dramatic sort of role and like be able to stretch those chops rather than be like, well, hey guys, blah, 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 and try to be outwardly funny, because like it never hits with me when I make an effort to be like satirically funny. Like I say things and sometimes they're funny. That should be like I'm gonna change my bio and like everything, just be like, I say things and sometimes they're funny. Like
yeah, like I've done voice acting for like Izzy and E, right? But voice acting is it's much different than like physically
Than
acting,
acting,
you know?
acting.
I
Yeah,
almost
100%.
prefer it, yeah.
No, well, I
think
don't.
it
I
adds
don't.
way
The voice
more.
acting,
Really?
I don't enjoy the voice acting as much. Like, don't get me wrong. If Izzy and E asked me to do it again, I would do it in a heartbeat for them. But if I had to choose between voice acting and like physically acting, I'm gonna choose physically acting any day of the week.
Really?
But I'm a very
It's fascinating.
I'm a very physical person. Like when I talk, I use my hands a lot. Like
No, same here. I've been waving around like a
Well, see,
car
that's what you
dealership
have to do
balloon
in your
sitting in
voice
this
acting,
chair.
and that's
Yeah.
something
Oh,
that I
yeah.
think a lot of people don't do is wave their hands around when they're voice acting and make the faces and do that. But the successful voice actors do that.
and that's
Yeah.
something that I had learned while I was doing it for them. But for me, I don't know. It feels more natural when I'm not in front of this microphone and when I can actually be up and able to move more.
Move around
You
and
know?
stuff. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I know a lot of people will say like with voice acting it opens for definitely more opportunities. Like I keep running back to Batman, right? But like you have the most famous voice of the Joker is Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could picture Luke Skywalker physically playing the Joker.
Yeah.
And it's
But
one of those
his
things like
voice is so
he
perfect
says-
for it.
yeah, and, like obviously now like rest in peace Kevin Conroy. He's the one person that actually got me into voice acting and made me interested in that. And like Mark Hamill said, it was like, well, now I'm done. Like I'm never doing the Joker ever again because he said he got into its point in his career where he was like, look, if they ever offered me the role and they said, he would always ask, well, is Kevin doing Batman? It's like, oh, then I don't need to read the script. I'm in.
I'll
And
just
that's
do
just
it.
so-
Yeah,
That's
because he was so good.
great. And like main person that got me into all of that is, like voice acting wise is Kevin. Those there's three people. Yeah, like Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, because I was a huge Batman fan, and a voice actor by the name of Roger Craig Smith, who voiced Batman in Arkham Origins and the
Oh, okay.
newer Arkham game, Arkham Shadow. He voiced Sonic the Hedgehog in that old school Sonic Boom TV show. I think it was.
Okay, I know
Okay.
what your
Boom.
voice. Okay, I know what voice you're talking about now.
And he was the voice of, in my humble opinion, you can fight me in the comments, the greatest video game character ever. He was the voice of Ezio Auditore in the Assassin's Creed franchise as well.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's funny enough. You hear me say grazie a lot and stuff like that. It's because like any little Italian thing I say is because of Assassin's Creed. It's like, how do you know Italian? I play Assassin's Creed, baby.
All right. Well, we're getting towards the end here, and there's one question that we have not asked yet. And
Yeah,
the
Lightning
fans,
round
have to.
questions. Boom, boom, boom.
well,
Lightning round.
Well, the fans will riot
I mean,
if
we
we don't
could.
ask this. So, Millie,
Yeah.
ask the question since you're playing Melissa.
I'm playing Melissa. It's
It's the
what's your
grilled
favorite
cheese
way
question.
to prepare grilled? I know. I know.
Are you about to
I
ask
was
me what
just
my
gonna
Waffle
read
House
it
order is?
because- No.
Yes.
Favorite way to prepare grilled cheese.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this might be a very controversial.
Oh,
Okay,
oh God, here we go.
It's okay. We've heard a lot of very controversial ones so far. So
white bread,
Okay.
yeah. That's fine.
mayonnaise instead of butter on the
My
side.
husband
on the
does
outside.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's more flavorful. I use Swiss cheese.
I've never done it with Swiss, but I'm intrigued.
I used to hate Swiss cheese as a kid, but now Swiss cheese is one of those like melted Swiss cheese
Mhm.
is like a godsend. I would eat a handful of melted cheese if it was socially acceptable.
Oh jeez. I
Like
mean, that's not that off.
like
of,
melted
it's
Swiss
fine.
cheese is so great. And I know this is also very controversial, but I do put, there's a thin line between a grilled cheese and just a sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do put some protein in it, like via lunch meat, like whether that be ham or pastrami. Pastrami's good with Swiss. And
Really,
I
a lot
do
of those
like,
Italian meats are though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I'd say if you're still grilling it, I still kind of consider it, if there's more cheese than meat, like it's still a
Yes.
grilled cheese.
Someone tell this to Gordon Ramsay because the man has tried 3 times to make a grilled cheese. I think it's just too simple for him.
I think so.
Gordon
yeah.
Ramsay is too fancy to make just a regular grilled cheese. You know, he could very quickly stop all this out. Like the first time, he's like, "Wow, he just made a sandwich. That's cool." And then he's like, he actually ended up burning the bread, but the cheese was still hard. And then the second time, he just made a panini.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
He should just come out with a video. He should just come out with a video with 2 pieces of bread, the wrapped individual single American cheese, put it on the thing, and be, there you go. You guys happy
just
now?
A Kraft single
Here's
and
a grilled
bread.
cheese. There's a Kraft single and some bread, and that's all you need. But I love a good grilled cheese. I will make it with tomato soup. I will put goldfish in the tomato soup as fantastic. I don't know if you guys ever done that before, putting any sort of what's the word? Crouton-esque crunchy in a soup.
Something crunchy. I'm one of those weird people when it comes to soup. It has to be soupy. Like I don't like a different texture in my soup. Like it has to be all the same kind of textures.
It's funny because like I saw this thing where like you mentioned that about the especially when it comes to soft and crunchy textures, right? Most people, the general public, don't mind a soft in the crunchy. But when they feel a crunchy and the soft, oh my God.
Yes.
It is the worst experience of my life.
Yes.
I will be especially you go and get like a cheap burger, right? Like a cheap meal. And that's like a crunch, but then you get like, you come across like a piece of cartilage in the ground beef. Yeah. That's a crunchy and the soft. And you're like,
it took me a long time to get
insane.
over like having nuts in a brownie. Like I can
I don't like that. I don't like that.
For some reason, like having something crunchy in my soft brownie, just like no.
No, and like crunchy peanut butter, those guys are psychopaths. It's like you got a soft piece of bread, a nice soft Jello jelly, and then nice creamy peanut butter.
And then crunch.
But then you get like one peanut that's like in just the wrong position to cut open your gums, and oh my gosh, it's the worst feeling ever. Like that will ruin my day. If the crunchy is in the soft, day's ruined. I don't care if it's 9 p.m. and it's like I'm going to bed anyway. Like my sleep is ruined then.
Yeah.
I can't stand it. Holy moly.
Okay, so we got to get through at least one more question. Well, 2 more because I want to hit everybody who asked questions that were on the fans. Moon Guy asked about your bases you've ever built. Which one is your favorite?
Favorite base? Now, as far as SMP bases go, I'm really loving Little Big Town right now.
Little Big Town is amazing.
I love what I've been doing with Little Big Town. But as far as just general builds and bases, I don't know if you would call this a base, but in my Forever World, my single player Let's Play, I built a mock of the Northern Air Temple from Avatar: The Last Airbender as a sanctuary for my happy guests. It's like a very small version of it. There's only 3 towers instead of the like million there are at the Northern Air Temple, but it was just nice. I really liked it. It really was that was like the first build that was like truly out of my comfort zone and something that I wanted to try new. So my gas sanctuary air temple is my second favorite as far as just regular builds go.
Nice.
I
like that. And then like I know we're probably right up. One more question. We okay with one more question, Lane?
Oh yeah, go for it.
All right, so William the Whoopo asks, if you could lose your memory of one game or series of games so you could play it again for the first time, what would it be?
Oh my gosh. It would have to be, right off the bat, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. At first, my first mind went to Minecraft, right? But very controversial opinion here. Minecraft is not nostalgic anymore, and I don't think I would get that feeling anymore if I started playing right now, learning Minecraft for the first time. I don't think I would get the feeling I played when learning it for the first time back in 1.8, because realistically, because of how mainstream Minecraft has become, I don't see it as a very in order to get the nostalgic Minecraft feel, I have to go back and play those games, like those older versions, or find or listen to the Minecraft music. But The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I've just recently started playing a little bit last year. I'm actually, funny enough, currently in the middle of the Water Temple. I'm having the worst time of my life, but
that was the worst
time. I I love the game so much, and I don't know what made me want to play it in the first place. I just remember like I have a Switch, and I got the Switch Online expansion pack that allowed you to download the Game Boy Advanced and the Nintendo 64 programs, which
I've
had
been
like
thinking about
bunch
getting
of
that.
a bunch of the games. And I was like, you know what? I've heard a lot of good things about Ocarina of Time. Like, so let me just try it. And it just like I was instantly hooked. And now Legend of Zelda is, if yours, yes, hey, yeah, sorry, yeah. Listen to Joy in the chat for all the viewers watching. But like, I was immediately hooked on Ocarina of Time, and like
subscribe.
Subscribe.
Shirts and
Subscribe.
sweatshirts on last legs. Oh my gosh, he's even plugging the merch.
Subscribe to the merch, please. Thanks. But yeah, I don't think I would ever like that. Feeling was crazy. And now I'm obsessed with Legend of Zelda. Like I dressed up as Link for Halloween last year. I have
that costume was epic, by the way.
Yeah, you saw that?
You shared
You shared it, yeah.
Oh, I did. I remember. Yeah, I was actually thinking about refining it because Walmart has like a bright green tunic, and I'm like, oh, that's so much better than my dark forest green. But yeah, I don't know, just something about it, and like I just became obsessed. It's like a new, like I love Legend of Zelda. I just recently got something spoiled for me for Ocarina of Time accidentally. Do we have time to? I'll tell this. Do I have time to tell this short story?
Yeah.
Spoilers for Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Okay.
It's 20.
The game came out like 20, almost 30 years old.
Probably, yeah, it's probably close to 30. Yeah.
So when you become an adult in Legend of Zelda, you will run into this character named Sheik, and you're like, oh, who is this guy? Like, this is crazy. He plays a harp. Now, I played recently. Like my fiance and I, we had bought a Wii from a secondhand store for like $70. It was a
Smash
steal.
Brothers.
And yes, and Super
I know where you're going with this story.
Super Smash Brothers Brawl has you can play as Zelda, but Zelda sometimes it switches your character to Sheik. I still didn't quite know what that meant. I was like, oh, maybe they're like a team together, So they're still a team. But I was like, wait, Sheik's a girl then, isn't she? So then I just like went months with thinking, okay, well, Sheik's a girl. Okay, whatever. Until during the water temple recently, this was spoiled for me this week. I was doing the water temple, and I was like, and a princess you save early on in the game, you see again, and you're like, yeah, this strange looking man. Like, man? So then I Googled, is Sheik a boy or a girl? And then that's when it was like, well, and then Google was like, well, technically Sheik is a girl because Sheik is the male counterpart of of Zelda. Zelda is in disguise. And I went, what? Are you kidding? I was like, what do you mean? Like, and I'm sure this will get revealed. I'm sure, like, does it get revealed by the end of this?
Yeah, it gets
at the end of the game. And I'm like thinking to myself, what? Like, look, another spoiler for something else entirely. I was way less upset finding out that Captain America could lift Mjolnir. I was way less shocked and way less upset when Tony Stark dying got spoiled. I mean, I had assumed that Tony Stark was going to die anyway, but that just goes to show how passionate and how much Zelda had come to mean to me as like in my quick lifespan in the short time of me knowing it, finding out that little trivial detail in a almost 30-year-old game. I was like, are you kidding me?
That reminds me of when I found out Samus was a female, because like for the longest time you didn't know.
I found out
female.
I found out Samus was a female in Super Smash Brothers. I was like, what's Zero Suit? Holy moly! I was a young kid, boy. So I was like, I saw Zero Suit Samus. So I was like, oh wow!
Giant spacesuit, and you're like, no, it's not.
No,
and that happened like in the original game back on the NES too. Like if you had the special ending, you found out, and otherwise you had no idea.
Yeah, and then playing little 10-year-old me playing Super Smash Bros. Zero Suit said, whoa, big lady. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm so into Rhea Ripley. And I gotta be honest with you.
Oh, it all comes back around.
Full circle.
So we're back up on the screen. Remind the audience.
Oh man. All right, well, we are now past an hour, so this is where we're going to wrap things up. But before we wrap up, I always ask our guests at the end of every episode if you have anything you'd like to say to the viewers, whether it be a piece of advice or just something that you want to say. Now is your time.
For all the audience out there, which camera? Am I looking at camera 1 or camera 2?
I don't use camera 2. They just look through my eyes.
Okay.
It's a podcast. We're podcasting here.
All right, I'll look into souls, and you should know this too. Stay golden, Pony Boy. Thank you guys so much for taking part, and thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for inviting me, and God bless. Have a great one, and be safe out there.
Okay, well, I guess that's the outro too. Bye, guys.
Nice.
Bye.
Bye.